Hello everyone, hope you're all well. I wanted to continue on my Legend series, and today I wanted to give one of my all time favorites, who was, in my opinion, one of the most, if not the most, naturally gifted batsman, and someone who had sublime timing and who made batting look easiest, in my opinion. I mean, Sir Vivian Richards, David Gow, you always think of them, but Carl Hooper was something, he was in a league of his own. Carl Hooper was born 15 December 1966 in Guyana, Georgetown, Guyana, and he made his Test debut against India in 1987. He played 102 Test matches for West Indies and he scored 5,762 runs and he scored 13 hundreds and his highest was 233. And he also took 114 wickets in Test cricket and 115 catches as well. And in one day cricket, he played 227 matches and he scored 5,761 runs. And he scored 700s and his highest was 113 not out. And he also took 193 wickets in one day international cricket and he also took 120 catches. And in first class cricket, he scored more than 23,000 runs and he scored 69 hundreds. And he also took 555 wickets with 18 5 wicket hauls. And in Test cricket, he also has 4 5 wicket hauls. And he was the greatest overseas batsman for Kent as well in the county. And by the way, there is a very unique record that Carl Hooper has that probably a lot of most people wouldn't know. He's the only cricketer. Sorry, not the only cricketer. The second now. He was the first cricketer ever uh, to play to score 5,000 runs, take 100 wickets, hold 100 catches, and also play 100 matches in Test matches and one day matches for his country. It might be a bit confusing, so I'm just repeating. In Test matches and one day matches, he was the first player to have scored 5,000 runs. Number one. Number two, take 100 wickets. Three, hold, take 100 catches. And number four, also play 100 tests or 100 one days, both. Test and one days, he did both in both of the formats. He did that, and he was the first player ever in cricket history to do that. And Jack Callis of South Africa is the only one who has done it ever since. And I have to say, I mean, like I've said in many of my videos, Carl Hooper was one of my all time favorites. He was such a gifted batsman, and I would definitely say, even though he scored that many runs, he's 5,000. I would definitely say he was the biggest underachiever in cricket that I have seen. I mean, with the talent he had, he should have at least had around 30, 35 hundreds, a minimum 35 Test hundreds, and he should have had around 8 to 10,000 runs easily. I think West Indies didn't handle him properly. I mean, even one day cricket, I mean, if it was with Hansi, I mean, he probably would have even opened the batting. And they could have tried many different things. I mean, number three in Test cricket were fine. Number five, number three down was okay. But in one day cricket, he was batting at five, and I think that was a wasted spot for someone as talented as Carl Hooper. I have never seen anyone hit sweet sixes like Carl Hooper has. No one. I mean, not even Tendulkar, Ponding, Lara. No one. I mean, the straight sixes that Carl Hooper used to hit over long on and long off, especially long off. Where he just used to time the ball. He used to look like he was just kissing the ball. He hardly ever looked like he was hitting a ball, but he has hit so many sixes over long off and even through the cover area where with pure sublime timing. I mean, people who have watched cricket in the at that time would definitely know what I'm saying about. He was in my book the best timer of a cricket ball, and his footwork was absolutely outstanding as well. I mean, he was excellent against spin and fast bowling. And if you can, I mean, Wasim Akram and Shane Warne, without any doubt, two of the greatest bowlers of all time. Both of them have said a lot of things about Carl Hooper. I mean, Shane Warne said that he was always done by Carl Hooper's footwork, and he said he had no clue when Carl Hooper would step out to him. Like he would, I mean, with a lot of batsmen, they give away a little bit of when they are going to step out. But here, Shane Warne said when Carl Hooper batted, he never knew when Carl Hooper was going to step down the track, and he has even stopped bowling and held the bowling to see when Carl Hooper would go. And he said you can never pick when Carl Hooper was going to go for it. I mean, and the footwork also. And Steve-O in his autobiography said that the quickness of his footwork, his foot, Carl Hooper, and also about his stroke play. He said it was sweet, but yet it was brutally powerful. His stroke play, Steve-O said in his autobiography. And Wasim Akram, one of the greatest bowlers of all time, I mean, in my book, the greatest fast bowler of all time, said that Carl Hooper was the greatest, was one of the greatest batsmen that West Indies have produced. And if three of them have said so much about Carl Hooper, you can definitely imagine the talent and the respect that he had. But he was a huge underachiever, like I said. It's kind of funny how he scored 5,762 runs in Test and 5,761 runs in one day, just one runs difference. I don't think that you'll see ever in other career players as well. And he was a very good all-rounder. I mean, as a spin bowler and as an off-spinner, I mean, he did take a lot of wickets. And I have to say, I mean, in 1997, again in Karachi versus Pakistan, Carl Hooper scored 100 of just 80 balls against Wasim Akram, Waqar Younis, and Saqlain Mushtaq, and he really blasted the Pakistan bowling that day. I mean, when I say blasted, it wasn't like fierce raw power. I mean, the timing he had, and he was just in control. I mean, when Carl Hooper was batting, it was always looked like a master batting. I mean, I've always felt, I mean, the Carl Hooper reminded so much of Sir Vivian Richards. Both of them had a lot of time to play. I mean, Carl Hooper had a lot of time to play his shots. It was almost like he was sleeping when he was batting. I mean, he had too much timing, too much talent in a way, I would say. I mean, he was probably less talent. He would have scored more runs. He just used to get out, and he used to get the sweetest 20s and 30s. When Carl Hooper got 30 runs, I mean, you would think, wow, he's going to get 100. And then some way or the other, he would just get out. It's sad that he couldn't put his talent into full use. I mean, he was the greatest overseas player for Kent, but in the Test cricket, I mean, he should have definitely scored 8 to 10,000 runs, and he should have had around 3500s. I mean, Carl Hooper was just out of this world. I mean, his timing was excellent, and the way he used to play on the offside, his footwork, I mean, he just made batting look so easy. I mean, normally you think about David Gower and Sir Vivian Richards when you talk about a batsman who made batting look easy. Even Mark Waugh was in that class. Sorry, but Carl Hooper made batting look easiest. In my opinion, I've never seen any batsman who looked batting so ridiculously easy than Carl Hooper. And in 97, he scored 96-97, he scored 100 against Australia in the first test against McGrath and Vaughan, and that was also a masterful innings. I mean, every century that Carl Hooper scored was a master century. It was worth the wait. It was like worth its weight in gold. And he once, in 1991, he scored 111 against England at Lords as well, and that was also a masterful, sublime innings. And in 1987, I said he made his debut against India. In his second Test match in Calcutta, he did score his first maiden 100 as well. And in 95-96, in the home series against Australia, he was the top scorer of that series with 290 runs. And West Indies did win that series 4-1. So Carl Hooper started off really well in his early years, but then kind of fell away, I would say. And even in that Carlton and United series, 96, 97, 98, I think, when Pakistan, Australia, and West Indies were playing, Carl Hooper was in very good form, and there was a match where he got 100 against Australia. I mean, Carl Hooper was really good against spinners. His footwork was just absolutely brilliant. And against fast bowling, he had a lot of time. I mean, like I've said, Alan Donald is one of my favorites. But when Alan Donald bowled to Carl Hooper was almost batted like it was a medium pace. I've never seen Carl Hooper being rushed for pace. Never in my life have I seen Carl Hooper being a rush for pace. He always had extra time in this world. I mean, that's what I said. He was like out of this world. He had so much time to play his shots, and the timing was just out of this world. I mean, on the offside, like I said, through the covers and through the. I mean, please go on YouTube. I would really, really say, please go on YouTube. And if people who don't know Carl Hooper, please go on YouTube and check some of the innings that he has scored. I mean, you can check that 80-ball 100 against Pakistan in Karachi, 97, and that 97 against Australia, and also that 111 versus England at Lords. I mean, he was just amazing. And by the way, he did captain West Indies in 22 Test matches. And when he was captain, his average was about 45.9, around somewhere down there. He almost averaged 46 compared to his career average, which was quite low, 36 or something for a batsman of his caliber. But it probably showed that captaincy elevated his batting. But I don't know. I just think that West Indies Cricket Board didn't handle Carl Hooper well. He was just way too talented to be someone scoring 5,700 runs in one day and test. I mean, he should have scored around 10,000 runs in both formats, and he should have had 30, 3,500 at least. But in any way, it doesn't matter. In my book, I've seen so much cricket, I've seen so many batsmen, but in my book, I would always have a special place in my heart for Carl Hooper. He was an absolutely brilliant batsman who made batting look very, very easy, and he was naturally so gifted, and his stroke play was just out of this world. I mean, I don't think the world will ever see a batsman like Carl Hooper again, who made batting look so easy. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'm really glad to give Carl Hooper, who is one of my favorites. And if people really remember, it's not his statistics, the quality that he had. If you check, you would really love Carl Hooper's batting. Please check some of these innings that I've said, and any highlights package of Carl Hooper, you would just fall in love with his batting. Anyway, that is my video for this legend, Carl Hooper, and thank you for all the memories, Carl Hooper. You'll always be remembered with so much fondness and respect. Take care, everyone. God bless you.